Hello. In this language, my name translates to Zen. Ironic, considering that is also a word in this tongue that means to be at peace, something I most certainly am not. Let me explain. I am a Zilgax, a species heralded for unprecedented telepathic and psychic abilities. Humans have likened us to harpies. Ever since I was young, I have wanted to heal minds and brains of others. Humans call this neurosurgery, a fascinating branch of medicine. Anyway, one thing that I learned as an apprentice neurosurgeon is that my abilities allow me to easily find the problems in the brains of any other species. It also opens me up to the thoughts and feelings of whoever I am working on. Usually, this isn't a problem. I've been doing this for decades now, and those thoughts and feelings are like threads that lead me to the problems I solve. Now, for the most part, I work to my fellow Zilgax and other species of similar composition. Despite that, I have not done work on humans until recently. For a few reasons. First and foremost is the actual physical makeup of their brains. They are something entirely unique. I have never encountered something as complex or as terrifying as a human brain. It started with a human space captain. He suffered from a traumatic brain injury during a landing failure. It was my first time working on humans. I discovered that they essentially have two minds residing in their brain. Each half of their brain is its own mind, yet only one side is connected to the mouth and can speak. I thought it strange until I delved deeper. Their two halves of their brain, their two minds, are connected by a single strand of brain matter between the two sides. This is what allows them to communicate, is vital to the personality that a human exhibits. So you can only imagine my morbid curiosity when I learned about the old human practice of lobotomy, where they sever that connection. Even more startling is humans, who have lived their lives after severing that in freak accidents. A human named Phineas Gage was famous for such an incident. According to testimonies, his personality changed rather drastically after it happened. That is what got me thinking. Why? Why does this exist? With permission from the Federation's Medical Ethics Committee, mostly consisting of humans, by the way, I was granted permission to perform experiments on the still-living brains of some of their worst criminals. I learned so much, and a lot of it was terrifying. One of the first things I learned about was their strange amount of senses. They have a multitude of scents that I have never seen in any other species. One of the more unique is what they simply refer to as their sixth sense. This extraordinary sense for them to know about things they simply should not know. The main thing I've found is that it lends to more accurate predictions of the future than anything else, and they are scarily good at estimating distances, times, and weights. The hull of Mega Starship Spire's consort was built entirely on a template estimated by one of the human engineers. They also have a strange phenomenon that allows a human to detect when someone or something is watching them. This one I've seen in action, but things get stranger. Did you know that humans have the uncanny ability to experience hallucinations with senses other than sight? That's a new one. Hallucinations of sound, smell, touch, even taste. Speaking of taste, I learned how humans have the ability to know what something would feel like if they ran their tongue across it by simply looking at it. By the stars above, how does that work? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the strange and mysterious discoveries I've learned about humans. You see, I started to realize there was something more going on when I found a different, darker phenomenon. Humans experience this strange sense that they have termed the call of the void. In basic terms, it is this typically out-of-character thought or feeling that a human experiences that tells them to hold themselves over the edge of a cliff or crash a ship they're piloting. Now, I have worked with patients in low points before, but that is never something I've dealt with. How do you deal with that? So I started to investigate deeper. Where does this call originate from? Why do humans experience it? In doing so, I've learned of other mental conditions. Psychopathy is a scary one that leads to a lack of empathy and an increase in impulsiveness, among other things. A lot of human murderers are diagnosed with this trait. There's also other disorders that give a human a wide range of strange conditions. Humans have a multiple personality disorder, where there are multiple distinct minds inside a single body. They have a disorder that leads to a massive imbalance of emotions, another one that causes them to lose the ability to concentrate. However, one of the strangest and scariest I've found is when a human mind is disconnected from the body. Trapped inside the head but unable to do anything, their entire body is out of their control. I've never seen anything like this. I started to look deeper, to try new tests. It is an incredibly hard condition to detect, by nature of the fact that the person with the condition will do all they can to hide the fact that they aren't themselves. One of the few confirmed cases of this condition I worked on led me to a startling conclusion. There was a foreign feeling influencing the humans. It was nearly undetectable, and for most telepathic species, it probably would be undetectable. Not for us Zilgax, though. Then again, I don't think I would have found it if I hadn't been searching for it. Like I said, thoughts and feelings are like threads. I followed that foreign feeling to another human. That feeling linked with a similar feeling in that human's mind. I pushed the curiosity out of my mind and returned to my current experiment. Over the next year, I would notice that same foreign feeling in every human I would interact with. And over time, I noticed how that feeling seemed to be trying to draw me in. Eventually, I started to notice a similar feeling in other species. A Glomi I work with had that same thread. I thought paranoia was starting to set in, but there it was. First the Glaomi, then Pifrenkliars, even another telepathic species, the Kipsapiens. As of last week, I found the source of that foreign feeling. I don't know what that thing is, but it isn't friendly. As of this morning, humanity has declared war on the Zilgax, with backing from the Federation. Orbital bombardment ships are expected by this evening. I hope that someone else, out there, learns what this entity is. I wish that it wasn't me.